Hey guys, welcome back to my LEGO channel. Now in today's video I want to talk to you about the Harry Potter LEGO books. There's currently 5 books on the market today that are meant to be or scheduled to retire at the end of this year. I think they might be good investments. I want to just put them on your radar if they're not currently on your radar in this video and discuss the pros and cons of each set. So let's get into it. So, first things first, LEGO has actually produced 6 of these Harry Potter books in total. 5 are still on the market today, but 1 has already retired, and that one being the Herbology class. Now, first things, let's see how that Herbology book is performing. So if we look on eBay, so my iPad here, we can see it's roughly selling, after fees, postage, etc. You probably net about £44. So to calculate the return on investment on that sale price, I'm going to look at the original price point these sets were, which was $27.99. This, if you weren't aware, is because LEGO did some price adjustments last year where some sets went up and some sets went down, and for the majority of the Herbology set's lifespan it was at the £27.99 price point. So if we factor that in to this return on investment calculation, if you bought it for $27.99 and you sold it for the current value, your return on investment is currently about 57%, and that is really good. And it's that percentage figure that got me thinking, are these other Harry Potter sets potentially, or other Harry Potter books, are they going to perform as well as the original Herbology class book? So that's what I want to explore in today's video. So first things, let's look objectively at each of these 5 books. Initially, LEGO released 4, the Herbology, the Charms, the Transfigurations and the Potions. I say these were all released at the start of last year. Only one's retired, which is the Herbology, whereas those other 3 I've just mentioned are scheduled to retire at the end of this year, which would give you a shelf life on all of those remaining ones of 24 months. The other 2 books you see behind me are the new ones LEGO only released this year, which make up the 5 that are retiring, and that they are the Defense Against the Dark Arts and the Divination. Now, according to Brickset, these books only were released this year in March, I think early March, which would give them a shelf life of 10 months if they retire at the end of this year. So objectively looking at those ranges, like date ranges of shelf lives, straight away you're thinking those new books are the ones we should target as LEGO investors, because they've got 14 months less production, less time the factory's churning them out, so there'll be less supply of those 2. So maybe that's the ones we should buy, and they could do the best. That's one scope of thought we can look at. But looking at the bigger picture, I want to really get to grips with why has the Herbology book done so well. And in my opinion, I think it's down to 2 things. I think it's because these books, they're a set essentially, and they're very collectible. I think if you get one as a gift, or if you buy one for yourself, you're going to want them all if you like them. And number 2, I think the Herbology set is done really well because others in the range have stayed on the shelves and you can still buy them today. So what I mean by that, and to build on that point, is just imagine LEGO only released the initial 4 books, the Divination, the Transfiguration, the Potions, the Charms and the Herbology, and they all retired at the end of last year. They didn't release the 2 new ones this year, the Defense Against the Dark Arts and the Divination. So that means any new LEGO fan or someone that's going to buy Harry Potter LEGO for someone else that's totally new to the franchise, they won't know that these books exist. So it's very unlikely that if they're not in the LEGO community that they're going to seek these books out on eBay to collect them all, or even collect one, because they're not on the shelves. They won't know about them. They're not in the public eye. So this is why I think it's very important for LEGO sets, and why I think the Herbology book has done so well. The fact that those sets, or some of those books, are still on the shelves today, people are receiving those as gifts, they are buying them for themselves, they are then seeing there's others in the range, and they're then seeing that there was one they missed out on, the Herbology book, and then they're going to buy that one to complete their collection, because you'd be a madman for only having 5 out of the 6. So I think that's why the Herbology book has done really well. So considering that, let's just think to ourselves, so if all of these 5 sets do retire, as predicted by Stonewalls, by Brick Fanatics, then that scenario that I've just that hypothetical scenario that I've just explored, that next year there will be none of these books on the shelves. So any new fan to the franchise, anyone that's going to receive a Harry Potter Lego set is unlikely going to receive one of these books. So then if they do lack that awareness of their existence, again, they're not going to seek them out. So they're not going to want to collect them all and pay a premium for the ones they missed out on if they don't know they are even in existence. So that's one concern. If all these sets do retire, why they might not do great things for the books. So a way around that would be, what I'm trying to say is a potential good thing that could happen with these books is potentially the 2 new ones, the Defense Against the Dark Arts and the Divinations. I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world if their shelf lives actually got extended. I mean, that's not abnormal these days. Lego often can change the shelf lives of popular products, and the fact that they've only been on the market, for 10 months really suggests that this could be a possibility. And if that did happen, I don't think that really would be the worst thing in the world, because then we would have that same scenario, but instead of there only being the back catalogue of the 1 retired set of the Herbology set, you then have the back catalogue of the initial 4, so any new recipients of the Defense Against the Dark Arts, of the Divination next year would then want to complete their set and then seek out all those other sets that have retired, and may cause those prices of those sets to spike. So I think there's good and bad points to all of them retiring this year, or even some of them being extended. So that's the couple scenarios I've been considering, but I do think there is even a better scenario, which is the one I'm hoping for, and that is that all of them retire this year, so we as Lego investors can really benefit from that short 10-month lifespan of the 2 new books, because that'd be amazing if they did retire. If additionally Lego produced more books, so this being that these 6 all go, but they release more books on more subjects, so then the recipients of those new books next year will then have to get, if they want to collect them all, have that whole back catalogue. There'll be like 6 in the back catalogue now, 6 retired ones that they must get to complete their collection. So then we'll see a good price point spike on all of those 6 that have retired, but potentially a bit more on the Divination and the Defense Against the Dark Arts because of their real short supply of a shelf life of 10 months. So I think that's a really good scenario that isn't necessarily, improbable, considering there could be subjects in the Harry Potter world to, produce into Lego sets. I say that could be because I've had a look on my iPad of the Hogwarts subjects that they teach at Hogwarts, because I don't know that off by heart. And unfortunately, they have done most of the main ones. There seems to be, if I look at my iPad here, there's one called Muggle Studies, and there's one called Astronomy and Apparition, but these subjects weren't really given that much screen time in the film franchise. So I'm not too sure if it'd be worthwhile for Lego to make those lessons, those subjects, into sets. Fingers crossed they do, because if they do, I think it would do great things for these 5 books. But it's just everything you have to consider, or what I'm considering, in my opinion, when it comes to these books. Excuse me. If you see behind me, I own all 5. I've got quite a few quantities, because in my opinion, and to summarise, I think these books are going to do... I think they're going to do well. I think there's definitely different potential scenarios where they could do really well, but I think they're very collectible. I think they've got great low price points. So I think some of them have got exclusive figures, and they just look great. They have displayability of them. So I think they're going to be really good winners for me personally. That's again my own personal opinion. But there you go. Now, if you've got these sets, if they were off your radar, but now they're on your radar because of this video, let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe. And I'll be releasing lots of Lego content like this in the future, so look out for it. But anyway, ta-ta for now, guys.